Was it easier to buy an investment property back in the 1980s or today? Let's check it out. So in the 1980s, investors made up around 18% of the total transactions that were happening in the marketplace. Jump to 2025, and that number has pretty much doubled at 36%. So why did the marketplace pretty much double in the last 40 years? Let's check it out. So tax incentives is a big one. So the negative gearing that was introduced. Second reason was easier access to finance, being able to leverage off other houses. Decline in investor-built housing. So a lot of investors these days are now targeting more existing properties, which are competing with owner-occupiers, first home buyers. Now, looking at some statistics here, most investors in Australia only have the one property. So 71.5% of people just have that one investment property, 18.8% own two, and it's only in that top 5% where they actually own more than three investments. Now, a big one for me is foreign investors. For me personally, I think investing in Australia should be done purely by citizens or residents of Australia and should not be done by foreign residents. Now, most countries around the world only allow residents within that country to invest in real estate in that country. For example, my wife's from the Philippines, and even though we're married, we can live there, I still can't buy a property in the Philippines under my name. It has to be in her name only. Now, in the 1980s, commercial property was a big one for foreign investors, accounting for almost 40% of the property transactions that happened in the commercial space, which is absolutely huge. Residential properties were still pretty big at 5 to 6% of every dwelling turnover. Jumping to 2025, that number has dropped off quite a lot. Now you're looking at just less than 1% of all transactions are happening by foreign investors. Now, I asked ChatGPT to play a little bit of a game with me, and that game was to see where capital growth would be if we never had foreign investors. Now, with foreign investors from the 1980s to 2000s, that market grew by 300 to 350%. Without foreign, you can see here, it's only about a 5% difference, so not too much. Overall, from the 2025s, the marketplace grew by 600% since the 1980s, or if we didn't have foreign investment, about 550 to 570%. So it's a difference between 30 to 50%. So in summary, if we did receive 30 to 50% less growth, it would make properties more affordable by between $50,000 to $100,000 in your capital cities like Sydney and Melbourne.